Hello, hello, every sluggy. Welcome to another exciting day of Final Fantasy XIV. And also, I forgot big time that I am still a bunny suit slut at the moment. Just face full of cat ass right off the bat. Oops. Yeah, that's a thing. Anyways, it's no longer Easter time. Let's get out of that. That's a little much, don't you think? Oh, I'm still. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. I'll just have Warrior with fishnets. Why the hell not? Hell yeah, Final Fantasy XIV gang. Welcome Fishmonger and Gono. Today I'm going to try to remember how to roll quest. If I remember right, it should be Radzat Han, I think? Pretty sure. That's where they left off anyways. And there is also another funny event. It's something about maidens. We're gonna go get maidens today. You can be a maiden and still get maidens. It's called being gay. Look it up. Okay. It should be? Yep. Bond Eternal, I'm assuming. So let's go to that trader over there. Just casually. Just saunter up to them. Here. I need maidens and I need rolls. And I'm all out of rolls. Wait. Am I even in the right place? I am not in the right place. I am not in the right place at all. Wow, I have completely forgotten the layout of this area. Holy shit. That's amazing. If your host also spoils 11 in this event like she does in 11 proper. Is there even anything to spoil about 11? I played 11. There wasn't a whole lot there, plot-wise. It was just grind shit constantly, except I'm guessing they did have an expansion or two that no one ever talks about, so I have no idea. Just slam the ground, where I know nothing. Okay, you. I need you to give me funny roll quests, please. Bitter Snow. Well, if it isn't Kuro, all around good egg! That's me! I'm the good egg! And champion of, well, the whole world, I suppose. Word travels fast, my friend. We've heard all about your exploits defeating the blasphemies that plague the good people of Eorzea and Doma. Forget about the rest of those guys. They don't matter. Sadly, there are other fell beasts that yet want for slaying, but fear not. Our efforts to bring them low proceed apace, and we've had naught but glad tidings from our allies. Imidaro had level 10, she spoils the villain of every expansion in the game if you keep progressing your quest. Wow. Oh, and hi, Hime, welcome to the stream. You're doing schoolwork, but wanted to tell me that before you lurk that you're slowly transforming into you by eating so much chocolate peanut butter candy. Yes, good. Let the Reese's peanut butter eggs and other affiliated peanut butter chocolate goodness spread. Soon all shall realize the true splendor. I mean, to be fair, chocolate and peanut butter is matched by mint chocolate. However, they're diametrically opposed. Do not eat both at the same time, it does not taste good. Trust me on this one. Since she was as an anniversary expansion, but for some reason you unlock it at level 1. I actually did something completely crazy, Hime. I was freezing an entire thing of just milk chocolate and white chocolate eggs for summer. And I was like, okay, I need to work out, like, every weekday for this convention coming up, and god, it's only 4 weeks away now. I'm just going to go to my friend's little party, and I'm just going to give them both sets of my eggs as a treat. So I've spared myself the egg-ageddon that was coming from my fat ass. It could have been bad, because eating that many eggs in the span of only a few weeks would be... It would have been no good. It was a worthy cause, though. Although I don't think their kid can eat Reese's eggs. That would probably be pretty bad. He's only a baby. He only has, like, 8 teeth total. But all the same. Eggs and bunnies are pretty good. I didn't just give them eggs. I gave them 2 entire bags of eggs. Sadly, there are other Okay. Perhaps the most surprising report came from Merlit, where soldiers led by the infamous Black Wolf fought alongside Alamegan troops for yet another hard-earned victory. Hime, it's not that weird out of context. It's only weird if you involve the ovipositor. Then it gets really damn weird. Outside of that, totally fine. Super kosher. As far as I'm aware, they're incredibly vanilla and have a baby. I'm not going to look any deeper into that because I don't want to. Reports from Gallermald, however, suggest another blasphemy threat lurks in the snows, and received a petition for assistance. Strange, don't you think? When the effects of the final days began to spread in earnest, we encountered a great many monsters in Garlemald, but never a blasphemy. I thought we did, though. I thought we literally encountered at least more than one blasphemy there. And to make matters worse, they say the Garleans who chose to remain and rebuild have begun transforming into yet more hideous creatures. From what I understand, it was you and your comrades who brought an end to the source of the final days, is that right? And I've been struck with the peanut butter, but this time I am prepared. One peanut butter coming right up, Hime. Sure, this one's almost empty, but there's another full jar waiting in the wings. Thank you for the peanut butter. Oh god, don't... Poking on that would have been pretty bad. But thank you, Hime. Even so, it appears effects will linger a while longer. For no real speakable reason, just... the evil sound waves are still attacking. I don't know. It's weird. Until this malevolent influence on Akasa subsides, I dare say this won't be the last time we hear of such sightings. As for the blasphemy, we have reason to believe it is a great deal stronger than any we faced thus far. Your strength and experience would prove quite valuable if you're willing to help, of course. Delay-based netcode depression waves. Oh no. That packet loss is going to be like another half an hour before they hit. Well, of course I'll help. Truly. Our contacts in Shoreline will be thrilled to hear it. Though they did not explicitly request your presence, it was clear from the first they were hoping for it. Though if I may be frank, and not TV Frank's wild years, because he is busy elsewhere, we can't expect him to be everywhere at once. I was not expecting Charlian of all places to be so concerned with the present state of Garlemald. What with their strict policies of non-intervention? Perhaps we'll find out the reason before this is all over. It's because Daddy had a change of heart. Don't worry about it. But that's an inquiry for another time. I'll not keep you any longer. Once you arrive in Garlemald, I should think the intelligence officer stationed there will be more than happy to apprise you of the situation. I will admit, of all the places, it is surprising Garlemald did not get super fucked over. You know, considering it's kind of a giant hole in the ground, more or less, at this point. And the guy literally put himself all over that flag earlier in the expansion. Just all over the flag. If you go there, I'm pretty sure the blood is still on the damn flag. Like, out in the actual world. It's kind of fucked up. Kuro. The Kuro? It's an honor to have you with us, miss. I presume you're come to assist in our hunt for the blasphemy. No, I'm just here to observe, obviously. Maxima and Lucy will be pleased to hear it if you come this way. Oh, an actual cutscene, maybe. But no spoken lines, I'm betting. That would be too generous of them. But then again, I've been surprised before. Damn! Of course not. It's good to see you, Kuro, though I wish it were under more fortuitous circumstances. We were reluctant to call upon you, knowing you but recently returned from the far reaches of the heavens, but we are no less glad for your aid. Now then, I believe it best that the man who first discovered this blasphemy explained the situation. I like how we're just in medieval fantasy land with magic, but we also just have magic cell phone, like, shells in our ears. And you can make group calls with them effortlessly. Also, how the hell did you find anything? You old coot. Ah, Kuro, good. We may forego introductions then. Thank you for answering our call for assistance. I'm gonna plow your wife after this. It's my payment. I mean, what? As for the situation at hand, it concerns a joint effort between the Forum and the Leoparids to find new purpose for the moon. Because that was a thing that happened. While there is no longer a need for a vessel to evacuate the star, we believe the moon may yet prove of use to the people of Atheres. After much contemplation, a rather ingenious proposal was put forward. To transform the moon into a repository for man's knowledge, an archive of hitherto unseen scale. Sherlion has long had the honor of boasting incomparable repositories of the world's knowledge, but is far from perfect. Oh my god, he almost is worse than Urianger. I get it, you're a huge nerd, you like your big vocabulary. Should calamity befall us, natural or otherwise, the wisdom of ages we have long labored to preserve would be lost. But the moon is beyond any such risk. What more, it's beyond the jurisdiction of any one nation. It's okay, we're just gonna put everything on the moon. Nothing could possibly go wrong there. Nothing could ever go wrong on the moon. Thus we consult the allied nations of Eorzea, the Far East, and Radzat Han. They agreed to assembling a survey team to take measure of the moon and its potential as a repository. Why do you have to keep calling it a repository? That just makes it sound kind of gross. Also, there's still evil sex fart clouds in Garlemald for some reason. Even though we kind of beat the crap out of Anima months ago, but I'm not going to worry about it. Our plans for assessment were forestalled, however, by the presence of an entity we believe to be a blasphemy in the Tower of Babel. You think they would do something about that tower? Claims of Garlean citizens transforming into monsters shortly after its discovery only gave further credence to our initial supposition. But with not only ill tidings to share, reinforcements have been dispatched to aid us in quelling the blasphemy threat. Lord Artor... Wait, no, it's not Artorial, it's Artoriel? How the hell do you actually pronounce that? Lord Artoriel. Artorius, fuck it, we're just gonna say Artorius because it's easier. A member of Gridania's Keepers of the Entwined Serpents have already begun an investigation of the catalyst of these transformations. Though the skies no longer burn, and the spread of this affliction is much curtailed, we must remain vigilant. Until the blasphemy threat has been quelled, Alphino and Alice have graciously offered to help keep calm the people of Tertium while we attend to the people there. But the matter of the blasphemy is not so easily resolved, I'm afraid. Can't we just punch it really hard? That usually works in this game. We recently met with certain complications that have hindered our plans. Yugiri and Fordola are presently deliberating how best to resolve the situation. Perhaps it would be best if you heard the details directly from them. I'm surprised they're bringing them into this. They're all the way from freaking Kugane. Crying out loud. I guess Alamigo, but still. I should like to join you if I may. As this endeavor was originally undertaken on Sharlion's behalf, I feel it's my responsibility to see this through to its conclusion. Okay, you can have an adventure too, old man. I suppose. Gotta protect your little children. Where in blazes are they? Actually, I don't know where... Oh, it's right next to me. I am blind. Go figure. Slug. Hello, Grumpy Gills. Wait, is she actually fucking taller than me? How dare you? I'm gonna bite your ankles off. Somehow I should have known you would turn up eventually. Don't you sass me. I'll smack you with my axe. And you, Geary. Cute as ever. And of course, we got the giraffe in the room. I did not expect to see you here of all places, but I'm no less glad for your presence. I presume word of the blasphemy is what brought you here, in which case I believe it may be best if a member of the reconnaissance team's guard explained the situation. Who the fuck are you? Do I remember you? Oh. Yeah, I was about to say, why the fuck are you here? Since when do you actually go out of your way to do anything, you lazy son of a bitch? Who? Me? Heavens no. Just a lowly sword for hire, hoping to fan my purse with a touch of mercenary work after taking my leave from Limsa. I reckon you'd sooner find Mistbeard's treasure than the company of heroes, Captain, and neither have reason to make themselves known, lass. But you didn't come all this way to hear about me, did ye? The blasphemy we're after is making its nest in the upper reaches of the Tower of Babel. The auxiliary sector, I believe it was. But it wasn't alone. A sizable horde of beast was circling about the knights protecting their queen. Naturally, we thought to strike from a distance before engaging in earnest, but not a single bullet reached its mark. Oh no, it's got a spooky force field! Protected by some manner of mystical shroud, as far as I could figure. Without a keen eye for magic, I don't see anyone getting through. What if you just punch the magic really hard? It's Final Fantasy XIV, that works just fine. By the time we understood the futility of the situation, we'd been spotted. Retreat was our only option. Pains me to say it, but there won't be any brute forcing our way through this one. Have we met? I punch God in the face on like a semi-regular basis. I think it'll be okay. But if you say so. My understanding was that once transformed, these blasphemies are completely devoid of ether. With what energies could create such a barrier? That's the question, isn't it? My first thought was some heretofore unknown technique for conjuring shields. Needless to say, I'm out of my depth when it comes to matters of magic. Which is precisely why I plan to speak with the Elder Seed... Oh, god damn it, no! Anything but the Elder Seed Seer. She's the worst! If anyone can help us find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protection, it's her. As long as we don't have to talk to the trees. If we have to talk to the trees, I'm going to start breaking some knees. In the meantime, can we trouble you to help with the not-so-small matter of people changing into beasts? The blasphemy's horde was large enough when we first found it. We can't afford for more to join its ranks. Very well. We shall reconvene with Lord Atorial and discuss strategy. Ah, before you go, there's something else you should know about the tower. From the moment we set inside, I could swear there was someone, or something, watching us. I mean, it's literally an H.R. Geiger tower. I'm pretty sure the tower itself is still somehow alive or some bullshit. I shrugged it off, thinking it a figment of my imagination, but in hindsight, I'm not so sure. Also, welcome to the stream, Fours. Welcome to whatever the hell we're doing with this role quest. Nothing to worry ourselves about now, but best keep on your guard when we do finally return to the tower, eh? Just punch the tower's spooky eyeball. Punch it right in its taint. It won't know what hit it. Slug, slug, slug. Slug club. Doot-de-scooby-de-boo. Okay, hello, Artoriel. Wait. Oh, you're fucking... Harshafon's brother. Right, that one. How are you still alive? Honestly. Ah, Kuro, 'tis good to have you with us, my friend. Indeed, the road before us is not an easy one, and a woman of your talents will prove invaluable to our efforts. We but recently returned from reconnaissance, wherein we made a few rather surprising discoveries. First and foremost, we were pleased to discover that no one residing within Camp of Broken Glass or Tertium have turned, no doubt thanks to the concerted efforts of Maxima, Alphino, and Alice. However, we do have reason to believe that those who did turn all hail from Locus Among Us? Among Us? Sussy? You mean Corvos, the Garlean's ancestral home? The very same. When the ill effects of the final days began to manifest there, a number of Garlean refugees from the region sought sanctuary in Garlemald. Seems like a terrible idea if you ask me, considering it was all Cthulhu'd, but okay. But the capital was already in ruins when they arrived. They were offered asylum, but many refused and instead chose to fend for themselves on the outskirts of the city. We're of a mind to go and speak with them directly if you would care to join us. Perhaps together, we can learn what of their recent circumstances has triggered such terrible change among their people. Let's see. Their country's in ruins, They're super depressed. They're probably starving to some extent. Just saying. They kind of got shat on immensely. The ruler turned into a weird flesh puppet, even. Artorial is eager to begin his inquiry. Time being of the essence, I believe it is prudent we split into two groups and cover as much ground as we may, as quickly as possible. If you and Master Fortunal would inquire after the people at Victor's spoils, the two of us shall see what we may learn at Liminal Station 4. When you have finished, pray meet us there. That's okay, we'll just give all the very depressed people party favors. That'll totally work. Victor's spoils is to the east of here, yes? Let us be off. It still astounds me that it's like, okay, Garlemald, we're gonna just have an expansion for Garlemald, right? No, it is one completely destroyed area and one expansion. It's a footnote, for fuck's sake. That's so weird. They were building up to this for 10 years. And this is Garlemald. This is what you get. That's it. You get a ruined city and a big fucking Eldritch Tower. That's so silly. But you can kind of understand why they're just kind of pissed off. Wouldn't you be kind of irritated being stuck in this snowy hellscape? Doesn't seem like a great place to live, if you ask me. I mean, I guess people live in Canada. But people don't live far enough north in Canada for them to deal with this all the time. That's why there's nobody there. Because it sucks. Unless you're like an Inuit or something, I guess. I don't know. It's barely habitable, is what I'm getting at. That they should choose to reside here in the cold, I can but presume they will not be amenable to conversation. Even so, we must not be deterred. Come. We'll talk to them, and they'll definitely just be like, yeah, okay, rich boy, you'll be... we'll be totally willing to talk to you, and not just trying to, like, gun you down and or eat anything that you have on you. What could go wrong? Weary refugee. The reason the Garlands live in the shitholes is because they were kicked in here by the previous kingdoms. That is true. Wasn't it particularly... God, I forget what the name of it was. It was to the south. Yeah, they got fucked for not having magical aptitude. Talk? What is there to talk about? We've no home, no future, nothing. This doom spells the end for us all. Then they discovered petrol and became massive assholes. Pretty much. They're like, what's that smell? It's oil! Oil! Hurry! Hurry, must go! America, come! Come with us, America! Come to hear our grievances, have you? We've more than you have time to hear them, I'm sure. We've lost not one, but two homes, our loved ones, our livelihood. There's nothing left. I served my time with the military, aye. For what? To lose all my friends, my son. And there's not to show for it but our claim to Locus Amonis. Babongus. So we thought. Calamity was visited upon us for reasons we know not. And when we thought to flee, it followed on our heels to Garlemald, ruined and ash at every turn. Well, you see, he kind of did that whole haha what if Bahamut thing. So this all, in some form, at least recently, kind of started with you dumbasses. Not you in particular, just your horribly corrupt government controlled by literally Asians. Can't imagine why you or anyone else would feign interest in our troubles, but if you insist. You'll find a great many of the people here were in the military at one time or another, some retiring with honors and others without. Sadly, I'm one of the latter, or one too many scars in battle. Even so, my contributions were enough to warrant leave to move to Locus Amogus. As a land of warmth and bounty, the Kervosi rebellion, admittedly, proved troublesome for a time. But it didn't take long for the Second Legion to quell their uprising. You could practically drown in the common quiet. And then one day the skies came alive with flame. We were overrun by all manner of foul beasts born of our brothers and sisters. The Second Legion barely had time to assemble their forces before they were overrun and snuffed out. We barely escaped with our lives. You know, it'd be cool if we fought the Emperor in Pandemonium and just make a parallel Final Fantasy II. But I doubt that's gonna happen. As cool as it would be, though. But we're greeted not only with more wreck and ruin on our arrival here, and we've not the strength to take our home back from the Corvosi a second time. There's nothing left for us anywhere. Portion no. Portion no. Did you learn aught of how they came to be in such dire straits? Have you read a literal history book ever? Yeah, they got fucked. They got fucked hard. No lube. I see, I heard much of the same. The military forces of Locus Amongus were defeated in the wake of the final days. Desperate to survive, they naturally fled to Garlemald, seeking sanctuary. It was their hope the might of the Empire would allow them to reclaim the home they were forced to abandon. But the capital city was already in ruin when they arrived. Needless to say, the lands of long believed to be the ancestral home of the Garlean people may remain forever lost to them. Those unfamiliar with history would believe they were always resided in the bitter, cold climes of northern Ilzabard. But that was only after the Corvosi invaded 800 years prior. With the advent of Magitech, I imagine it was all too easy for Emperor Solus to rally his people and take back what they believed to be rightfully theirs. Yet history would tell us true, that the land they call Locus Amongus has been known by other names and served as home to myriad peoples. Indeed, one need only look back to the Elegant's reign in the Third Astral Era to give the lie to Garlean claims of sovereignty. Yet even had they such ancestral ties to Locus Amongus, antecedents cannot justify their animosity to foreign peoples. Animosity poorly veiled by delusions of justice, as has been the case for so many nations throughout history. Would that man had the sense and strength of will to break free from such chains of hatred. Help! Someone help! They've turned! Oh no, they become among us! Another monster, quickly, Kuro, we haven't a moment to lose. Wait, Locus Among Us is where Graha's from? Really? I mean, they did just mention Allegan, so yeah? The Catboy takes priority. But we've already had the Catboy for this patch. He gone now, never to be seen again. I don't see any monster. Are you blind? One of my mates seemed unwell, so I thought to come over and look in on him. Next thing I knew, he... No one appears to be injured. Did he not attack? He just walked off in the direction of the tower in a daze as if it was calling to him. That's not anima. He could not have gone far. If you would go after him, I will remain here and see that all are accounted for. That's weird. So the blasphemy somehow is something resembling magic, and is also somehow having the same kind of thrall? That's very weird. That doesn't line up with anything we know about blasphemies. Oh no, it's a dude. Bonk. Man, Warrior is just too good at this kind of thing. It's kind of ridiculous. This burst damage is so intense. And that you get to keep the passive, like, not getting knockback buff even after you've used all your stuff is really good. That is such a huge buff. Oh no, you're spent, but you're angry, still here. I did it. I beat one little dude. The beast is slain then. Thank the heavens. For a blessing, no others have turned, and a measure of calm has been restored, if only for a moment. Witnesses were able to offer clues to the source of the transformation. They claimed the afflicted was listening to this Again? You gotta be shitting me. Even now it continues to play the same cryptic message. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only Empire, no more, never again, rise, ashes. Though distorted by radio static, you can hear a voice saying, "The Empire is no more. Never again shall it rise from the ashes." Well, that's the opposite message it had before, which is just, haha. Haha, Emperor Varus still lives. Come be his little flesh toy, woo. But how is this possible? There are no facilities left standing that could possibly deliver a broadcast. And yeah, Anima did literally do this exact thing before, which is why it's so weird now. Because a blasphemy and a primal are two completely separate things. Be that as it may, Anima is no more, and the Tower of Babel has fallen into disrepair, by your hand no less. Which begs the question, who or perhaps what could be behind this? Kuro, Master Fortune No, a moment if you would. Yo! It's best leader, and also other best leader. Wow, there's so many best leaders here, it's like, how are you even standing next to them, Artorial? You're such a little shit. Shortly after we finished our inquiry at Liminal Station 4, Lord Americ and Admiral Marilib arrived, and requested an audience. Apologies for our late arrival, knowing firsthand the devastation of which blasphemies are capable. I discussed the matter with the Admiral, and we were of one mind that the situation warranted our immediate presence. Is it safe to presume a representative of the survey team has already arrived? Indeed I have. Thank you for coming all this way on such short notice. Recent events here at the camp have proved most enlightening. This is a lot more involved than I was expecting, to be honest. And this is the aforementioned radio. Empire, no more, never again, rise, ashes. A harsh reminder of their misfortune. Sufficient to push some wayward few over the edge, it would seem. Yet there still remains the question of who is sending this message, and from where. Glory, everlasting, Garlemald. For glory everlasting, for Garlemald, no, it couldn't be. You recognize this message? A mantra often spoken by Lord Nerva. Anyone who lived in the provinces under his authority could scarcely forget those words. He sought to claim the throne after the assassination of Emperor Varus, did he not? After civil war broke out, he all but disappeared according to the intelligence we managed to gather. How could he have managed to breach the tower undetected? To have done so and remain unnoticed by the creatures infesting the tower seems a nigh impossible task. Unless... Probably, yes, Nerva probably became a blasphemy because he got his shit so thoroughly wrecked. I do, and it was with Anima. These radios are somehow attuned to whatever signal it emits from the tower. What's more, I believe the true identity of the blasphemy is Nerva. Robbed of the throne, and forced to watch the empire he longed to command crumble before his very eyes. If such loss did not drive him to the same fate as Quintus, the despair he felt no doubt overcame and turned him. Nervous delusions of grandeur aside, the Garlean's plight sounds not unlike the Sahagin, desperate to preserve their spawning grounds. Indeed, though unscrupulous by any measure, the Garleans found solidarity in their ideology, as did the people of Ishgard in the Church. Adrift without home or purpose, it is all too easy for despair to take hold. Speaking of the Church, I need to actually check out not Ultima Weapon, Jesus Christ. Frickin' Thornton Ultimate. Because it looks like there's some pretty cool stuff in there. Just take a peek as a treat, because I'm not going to bother to do Savage this tier. The only Ultima weapon, the only ultimate I can even do is Bahamut, which, to be fair, is pretty damn cool. Without a remedy, we're as simple as offering them land as we did the Sahagin. In all likelihood, the Garleans would refuse to settle for aught less than what they believe to be their ancestral homeland of the Locus Among Us, a claim the Corvosi would readily take arms to denounce. We would do well not to further fan the flames of animosity twixt them. then perhaps at the very least, we can offer them peace of mind and a means to regain some semblance of stability in their lives. Good luck actually rebuilding Garlemald. But then again, we did it with Ishgard, but Ishgard also wasn't in literal ruins. It was just kind of fucked over by the church a bit. And even that took, what, 2 or 3 whole expansions to actually get going? By no means an easy solution, but perhaps the only one worthy of pursuit. Of course, this new Garlemald must remain a sovereign nation, free from the oversight of others. Aye, they would see no meaning in it otherwise. If I'm not mistaken, Alpino and Alice have already made strides in helping the people here gain some normalcy in their day-to-day living. The most important first step, but it will mean little without proper leadership. Rather than a single individual, perhaps a governing body of sorts would prove more effective. Democracy in this empire? More likely than you think. There are a number of former Senate members among the refugees at Camp Broken Glass, as I recall. With their help, creating the framework for new governance is not an impossibility. Except for the part where they probably all hate our guts, but whatever. Let's call the people together and see what they make of our proposal. Not that they're really much of a way to refuse, they kind of super-hosed. Well, are you actually willing to die on your hill for real, old men?
We hate all of you, but we'll deal with it. Bleh.
The final days has taken much from you all. I can but imagine the pain you feel in the face of such immeasurable loss. Though the final days have been averted, its effects yet linger. The blasphemy is born of your suffering. Decisive action must be taken before further harm is wrought upon you. To overcome such adversity is too great a task for any one person. But as a people united, there may yet be hope for the morrow. While it is not our place to decide how you'll move forward, it would offer a small measure of guidance. Yeah, that's the face of someone who's like, go fuck yourself. Seriously. That stank eye was legendary. We were told a number of former oh, wow. Okay. Wow, that was impressively bad. But that's okay. We roll with the scuff, baby. We were told a number of former members of your Senate yet remain among you. Would you be amenable to an interim government led by these individuals until such time as Garlemald can be rebuilt? Rebuild Garlemald? Is such a thing truly possible? Have you seen the giant evil fuck tower in the sky? Even if we do cobble together some governing council, they won't be making anything of that pile of ash we dare call Garlemald. There's no going back to Locus Among Us either. Rack and Ruin. Those are our only options. Like, I think even Sid's Ironworks would have trouble rebuilding this place. It's kind of super bad. I realized to rebuild Garlemald is a seemingly impossible task, but he needn't undertake it alone. My children are working members of the First Legion as we speak to begin an organized relief effort. Ah, there's the good song. And there are others from the provinces no doubt willing to lend their expertise. You need but ask, not as would-be conquerors, but as brothers and sisters of the Star, and others will heed your call. If you should still see no merit in the rebuilding of Garlemald, then I would instead offer you residency in Sharlayan. I promise you'll be welcomed with open arms. Sharlayan? So now you'd expect us to go and look boots in some country we've never even heard of? And up until literally like a few months ago was very, very just isolationist? My apologies if I appeared overly forward in my proposition. Considering our strict policies on non-intervention until but recently, it is not surprising that you're unfamiliar with my homeland. As an island nation to the north, home to myriad peoples, which is why I believe it would not prove difficult to accommodate you and yours. To be clear, you would not be migrating to Charlian to live in servitude. You have my word that each and every one of you would be guaranteed citizenship upon entry. And why exactly would you go to such lengths for us, for the conquerors you barely know? I mean, we have a moon now. Charlian was long aware of the coming doom that would be the final days, and so we were preparing to evacuate the star, taking as many people and resources as our stores would allow. Initially, it was our intent to save the people of Garlemald as well, but we had not forgotten your transgressions invading Alamigo, a rejection of our entreaties for peace. After a great deal of deliberation, it was decided that we would forego an invitation to Garlemald, a determination made with great trepidation. So yeah, if the world ended, we would have just let you fucking die here, is what I was getting at. It's like, you guys are troublemakers. You could have just died. We had convinced ourselves it was ultimately for the greater good, though I can think of at least one individual who would continue to protest. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Ah, Louiswa. Yo daddy. Sage counsel I brazenly cast aside when confronted with the final days in earnest. But Kuro here and her companions refused to forsake those we were otherwise unwilling to save. With great risk to themselves, they achieved the impossible and opened my eyes to the error of the Forum's decision. If all other roads lead to ruin regardless, perhaps we should at least consider it. Then it would be my pleasure to invite you all to Camp Broken Glass, where you shall have the warm food and beds both. Enjoy not starving to death. Also enjoy being with a bunch of nerds who have a billion years to actually figure anything out. Consensus, what is that? Admiral Merwolb and I shall speak with Maxima and the others, and consider how to best assist the Garleans moving forward. Should we broach the subject of the blasphemy, however, we will not hesitate to call upon you. Don't tell me this role quest blasphemy is going to take the entire expansion to peace out. That would be kind of silly. Because even in Shadowbringers, we at least got to see Seville pretty early on, from what I remember. And then we had the whole little void thing, as we discussed last week, where it was very silly. They're like, we can't deal with this void problem. We're just going to do it again in the next patch cycle. Nobody remembers that from a year ago. Why would you? Misguided few. With the Garleans' hearts at ease, the likelihood of others turning is greatly diminished. That said, it is no cause for us to grow complacent. You must needs find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protective warding. If I understand correctly, blasphemy's behavior is oftentimes influenced by the memories and emotions of the originator, in which case it would be prudent to learn more of the man who birthed this monstrosity. How fortuitous, then, that a number of soldiers from the 3rd Legion are in our custody. For a mercy, their tempering was not so severe as to be beyond our ability to heal them. They are presently being treated at Camp Broken Glass. Perhaps the camp's intelligence officer could tell us who among them knows out of Nerva's whereabouts. Who among us, indeed. 3-second teleport there. Nope. Still faster than flying. But yeah, like, look at this map. There's nothing here. There is shit and all. That they managed to do as much as they did with this area is kind of impressive. I see. Perhaps it'd be best if you speak with Virgilia, Legatus of the Third Legion. Wow, it's Virginia. He's gonna go get to Demicky. She's still on the mend, but the Chirurgeons aren't like to oppose a brief conversation. If you would wait here a moment. That's okay, she's just trying to get over the whole brainwashing thing. Eorzea's champion, I presume, and one of her cohorts. What business have you with me? Elsabard is faced with imminent crisis, and we believe the knowledge you bear may be key in stopping it. Just sell out your cap. Just sell out your leader. It'll be fine. Even though he's not really, alive anymore by the usual stretch. Thus do we believe the blasphemy to be Nerva. His whereabouts in the wake of Garlemald's fall, or lack thereof, give credence to our theory. Lord Nerva. From what we have placed together thus far, you are one of the last to see him alive. Please, will you not share with us what you know? Very well, though I suspect what meager knowledge I possess shall avail you not. It's the most cooperative Garlean there's ever been. We didn't even have to fight her or anything. I spoke with Lord Nerva shortly after the warring with the First Legion began. Cloistered within the lower levels of the Synaculum Imperialis, he spent the better part of the day listening attentively to the radio. He seemed hopeful, or perhaps desperate for news that the tide might turn in our favor. That's not creepy at all. The next day I left for the front line. I was there I heard a terrible noise, which I assume came from the Tower of Babel. Then darkness took me, and I remember not after that. I was told the radios protected those close to them from the effects of the tower, in which case Lord Nerva would have remained unaffected. But he has ever been devoted to Garlemald, for glory everlasting, he would say. To watch the empire he loves so dearly crumble, I can think of no one who would be more stricken by the sight. It would seem we were right to assume what became of Nerva. And it does not surprise me the beast would choose to make its nest within the Tower of Babel. It stands atop the remains of the Imperial Palace, and the throne he revered so highly. But the Empire is no more, and Lord Nerva, apparently, is no longer the man he once was. He deserves to be laid to rest, together with his dreams of glory. We will fell the beast, you have my word. Okay, but what about... Okay, there she is. There's our convenient little one-trick pony. Apologies for the interruption. Kane Senna has arrived, and we're ready to depart. It's good to see you, Kuro, Master Fortunol. I have spoken with Lorenz of the word protecting the blasphemy. I'm quite confident some manner of ether-based magic bars our path. Which still makes no sense, but okay. If I may be so bold, Elder Seedseer, we reached the same conclusion initially, but that simply is not possible. Also, it's even weirder because he was a freaking Garlean, which don't have magic to begin with. These creatures born of the final days are devoid of ether. As such, they would be unable to produce such a barrier in a manner to which we are accustomed. Unless it's a magic tech barrier, perhaps? Hmm. Do you suppose it's possible they manipulated Dynamis to achieve a similar effect? I too thought to dismiss the notion of a barrier field by ether. That is, until I stepped foot here in Garlemald. Even now I can sense streams of ether flowing toward the tower. The fuck? Its purpose was, after all, to harvest reserves of energy sufficient to reach the moon. Even if one was incapable of manipulating ether directly, it stands to reason control of the tower would alleviate such a need. 'Tis merely conjecture, of course. I cannot say for certain until I have examined the currents with mine own eyes. Might I ask you to accompany us? I would join you as well if I may. My injuries would keep me from being of use in battle, but my knowledge of the land should serve just as well as any blade. I would not be opposed to your company, but it's not my decision to make. Here, you are free from gay baby jail. You can now be under watch, like a hawk. But it's okay. Kane Senna cannot see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch because she's too busy talking to trees all the goddamn time. Very good. I suggest we begin with oh Jesus Christ. Regio Urbanissima. I sense the greatest confluence of ether in that vicinity. I thought most of these names are supposed to be, like, Greco-Roman, since it's the Empire. Also, hello there. That couldn't possibly be narrow, could it? Doubtful. Okay, we're heading to the outskirts of the city. So wait, we're going to the city itself and not the actual tower? Hmm. Ah, yes, what a beautiful city. Isn't it just gorgeous? Yeah, I'm thinking Charlion might be the right call here. This place is... It can't even be called anything resembling a city, pretty much. Maybe a city by near Auto Tomato standards, but... Also, how's Kane Senna fine here? She's used to living in the Twelves Wood. This place is a frozen hellscape. She should be freezing to death. As I thought, the ether stream here flows towards the tower, as do all the others in this region, no doubt. This convergence first began when the Telephori erected spires in all corners of Eorzea to fuel the Tower of Babel. But once destroyed, this divergence of ether should have ceased. Alright, whoever you are, if you've business with us, quit your skulking about in the shadows and speak your piece. Was he there in the tower, wasn't it? Yep, it's narrow, baby! My, you're sharper than you look. I forgot what his actual voice sounds like. It has been way too long since... Wait, have we ever actually heard his voice? I feel like we heard it in Omega during those raids, but that was 4 years ago. I recognize you, Nero, yes. Why are you following us? Why aren't you being super gay with Sid like you like to be? You big techie boy. Who said I'm following you? Being a native of Garlemald, does it not stand to reason I might be inclined to come and see what has become my home? I know not what you're scheming, but we've no time to entertain your games. Perhaps Master Garland would make better company for you. Oh, snap, she pulled the boyfriend card. Spare me, I am a man of great ambition and greater intellect, far beyond the scope of anything Garland could hope to achieve. He still keeps his head in the clouds while I set my sights to the stars beyond. Which is why he snuck into the tower, but like us, he couldn't get past the blasphemy to reach the transporter. Yes, well, I was very much hoping that you would dispense with that little obstacle. And having caught wind of your plans, curiosity compelled me to see if you were truly up to the task. Do you have reason to believe we are not? Perhaps as the great genius Nero mean to dispense with the blasphemy himself? Far be it for me to steal your glory having come all this way, but as I am feeling generous, I will tell you what I learned during my time in the Tower of Babel. I was able to access its systems, you see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active. Impossible. They all vanished when Anima was destroyed. Yes, and I've heard of your escapades reclaiming the remains of the Emperor. But obviously you failed to reclaim his entire body. As it stands, a piece remains powering a tower at Fabrica. Ah yes, the manufacturing district, just north of the erstwhile Imperial Palace. A rather impressive feat considering how these lands are so utterly devoid of ether, barely enough to sustain life, let alone the spire. But if one were to use Varus's remains to forcibly create a confluence of sorts. Precisely, and from what I gleaned of the tower systems, his heart serves as its core. How the fuck that man alive at all? Forcing not with blood, but your precious ether, and now Nerva has amassed a surfeit to shore up his defenses. How fortuitous he should find so perfect an impetus for his design, stolen from better minds than his own. How very like him. Oh, did I say that aloud? You'll forgive me if I fail to show concern for your ire. If what you say is true, these lands could never hope to recover from such a paucity of life energies. We must hurry and find Varus's heart, to both spare the land his wanton harvesting, and deny the blasphemy the source of its protection. Are we to presume you have any intention of aiding us? He's got a big old suit of armor and a big-ass hammer. As I said, I've no intention of stealing your glory, though I fear victory may soon slip through your fingers if you do not act quickly. The Tower of Babel was designed specifically for Anima to serve as its core. Nerva forcing himself upon the system has caused it to grow increasingly unstable. If my calculations are correct, and they always are, it will not be long before his presence triggers a system meltdown. The resulting explosion will destroy whatever tenuous streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Garlemald. But more importantly, we'll lose our only means of reaching the moon. The heavens forever denied my genius. Why the fuck do you want to go to the moon? You know very well that the only thing that's on the moon is bunny rabbits at this point. How so very unfortunate. In any event, 'twould seem time is of the essence. That's all well and good, but even if we know which district to search, finding the heart will be like looking for a needle in a bloody haystack. Actually, I may not know where we can start. Virginia, give us the Mickeys, please. It's all rather hazy, but I still have vague recollections of my time serving Anima when I was enthralled. We were commanded to erect some manner of facility tucked away in a corner of Fabrica. I remember not what it was for, but it's a good place as any to begin our search. Certainly sounds promising, but surely this facility will be heavily guarded. Then maybe it'd be best for to divide our forces. If it's just the four of us, shouldn't prove too difficult to sneak inside and find the heart. Meanwhile, our main force can stand ready to storm the Tower of Babel when the barrier gives out. Leave it to us. We'll play hero even though we're not heroes anymore because we kind of lost a whole lot. What's the Warrior of Light? Never heard of it. Crystals? Sounds like a load of bull to me. This is Levier. What? Very well, we shall return at once. A number of Garleans have left camp for the Tower of Babel. Oh no, not the baby. They've somehow misunderstood the threat of the tower and convinced themselves that Nerva has taken refuge there. Still clinging to their ill-paced patriotism, no doubt. They could not have gone far. If we act quickly, perhaps they can be found before they come to harm. A wise man would not waste his time on a few wayward refugees. I thought you Charlian scholars knew better. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, sir. If it was all the same to you, Kuro, I would join you. I'm still wearing fishnets, I forgot. I'll return to camp and begin preparations for our assault on the tower. It's just so... It doesn't even clash as hard as you'd expect, but still. I suppose I shall go as well. Silly Nero. Thinking you could actually get any... Oh, no! Speak to Fortune Knoll, and have him accompany you. What's wrong with fishnets in Siberia? I have those catgirl thunder thighs. I'm pretty sure these things could melt any matter of ice. I have a way of keeping warm. I just do this. Now I'm toasty as fuck. You will be crushed. End of story. Okay, where do I have to actually... Oh, boy. Oh, these are the worst. Why do they keep thinking this is a good idea? These little escort things. I don't think there's a single person that's like, yes, we like these. These are so fun. They're my favorite. Point of interest. A random intersection. Yeah, okay. Just... no trace of them here. Let's keep searching. Okay, at least it's not that far ahead. Also, I need this thing for a hunt anyways. Come here, little baby. Prepare for death. That's not so bad. You can teleport and use mounts. Snap. Wait, you can? Oh. You feel like they would have made that a bigger deal in the patch notes. Just saying. That's actually really nice. Thanks for the heads up, Gono. Help, someone, please. Do you hear that? It came from over there. At least it's not that far away. Or oh no, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's whatever the hell these are. That's okay. Got the bonk stick. Never can go wrong with the bonk stick. God, Warrior Burst is so good. It's like, you could play DPS for these missions, or you could just smack the shit out of things really hard in the span of about 15 seconds and you're done. You're the ones who came to speak with us before. We heard Lord Nerva had returned and was assembling his forces in the tower, but... we don't know how to actually listen very well, despite the fact that we all speak the same bloomin' language. No, not Lord Nerva, too. Then there really is nothing left for us. I'll not deny your situation is dire, but you are not without a path forward. I believe you've the passion and conviction needed to rebuild Garlemald, if you so chose, or failing that, you could begin life anew in Charlian. Rebuild Garlemald? No, there's no point in entertaining so lofty a dream. We would sooner die than suffer life under the rule of another. You mean that thing you did to people for at least the past 25 plus years? Hypocrites. He would sooner seek death than sanctuary. Your resolve is admirable, but sorely misplaced. If you would not see Garlemald rise from the snow and ashes here in Elsabard, might you consider venturing into a new frontier? A new frontier, and where exactly is this land ripe for exploration? Wait, you're actually gonna put them on the fucking... God, I called it, but still, that's... Why would they even be okay with that? Yes, just go to the moon with the bunny rabbits. Be separated from the rest of the entire world. Just make Final Fantasy IV happen. Fortuno is really banking on the massive immigration plan. How do he has to handle the economic deficit of building a spaceship in his back? I know, right? Wait, wasn't most of the spaceship stuff donated, though? Or is there just a severe debt collection about to happen? So I don't think it was really something that was funded in traditional manner. There's our goldie creative repository of man's knowledge there, free from the jurisdiction of any nation. Instead, what if we just put Garlemald there instead? They'll be fine, we don't have to share their lawn with those filthy other nations. As I understand, the magitech and technological advancements of Garlemald were without peer. Your expertise would be indispensable in the endeavor, should you be willing, of course. You really expect us to go and live on the bloody moon? Is such a thing even possible? Also, they do have to deal with the other nation. It's called the nation of cute little bunny rabbits. Those bunny rabbits are actually better at magic than we are. They would have such an inferiority complex. Like, oh my god. Could you imagine? Have you a better alternative? Lest you forget, Garlemald did not rise to grandeur from the complacency in the present of rumination in the past. We live for the future. It is in our blood. Life is not without its hardships, of course. Even I have met with the occasional stumbling block. But even should I stumble, my eyes are forever fixed skyward, seeking even greater heights. The Empire may be lost, but I still possess a great deal of knowledge gained from it, and a desire to seek more. The very notion of exploring the moon is an unprecedented prospect, and that you would balk at the proposition boggles the mind. Consider this. You have heard that beasts of the final days were born of those hapless souls that had given up on everything, yes? If that is indeed the case, can you tell me why you still stand before me? Because deep down you believe your life is yet worth living. Deep down, you long to reach for the unreachable. Or perhaps you don't. If you should choose to lay down and die here in the snow, that's none of my concern. Will you fight, or will you perish like a dog? Reach for the unreachable. That sounds like something I would have said back at the academy. Row, row, fight the power, even though ironically they were kind of the power. Alright, we'll go. I suppose it's better than dying here in the snow, as you so grimly put it. We must first dispense with the blasphemy that commands the tower. Because we can't just use the spaceship for some reason. I don't know. It's hard to believe Lord Nerva, of all people, could be turned into one of those monsters. Please, you must stop him. Put his soul to rest. Thank you, and sorry for causing all this trouble. I mean, at least we're getting some degree of closure on Garlemald, because they kind of just left that out in the open. It's like, yeah, Garlemald's fucked, but we're going to the edge of the universe now. Bye. Fuck. Like, come on. Thank you for the rousing call to action, but I thought you had no interest in meddling in our affairs. Lest you misunderstand, I abhor the idea of my countrymen blindly following nobles they know next to nothing about. Besides, it would be a most piteous sight for not a single Garlean to be among those venturing to the moon. Who else might ever prevail upon to learn of new findings up there? Gotta do that nerd shit. Wow, look at all these useless materia. I mean, I guess skill speed's okay, depending, but the rest of these are not great. Like tenacity, who actually uses that? You know, I'm not sure if tenacity is even good. Not that it matters since I don't actually raid. Shrug. Skill speed might at least sell for one whole penny. I told myself I would not get overly involved, and yet here I am. Yes, because you're a massive tsundere, you freaking nerd. Horshanil is eager to regroup and make ready for battle. From what Nero has told us, time is now a luxury we can ill afford. Let us return to Camp Brokenglass, if only for the moment. The others are no doubt finishing their preparations for battle. Bow, 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 bow. Just make a casual trip into Hell's Kitchen. Eldritch Tower edition. We're gonna make a fancy little soup out of Cthulhu. It'll be delicious. I should hope the other's absence means all proceeds apace. I mean, you say that, but then she just kind of popped up. Good, you're here. With the recent arrival of reinforcements, our preparations are all but complete. Yo, it's Raban! My dude, my homie. The best one of you there ever was. Sorry, Marilub. He just gets way more screen time than you do. Apologies for our lateness. It seems we were at least in time to help deliver the crushing blow. Aye, and if the fates are kind, this will be the last we see of these damnable blasphemies. Commander Alden, Lord Hean, thank you for both coming. God, Raban is so cool. Yes, yes, of course. Understood. Lawrence and the others have reclaimed Varus's heart. The barrier protecting the blasphemy should soon dissipate. Wow, we didn't even have to take care of that. I'm surprised. And the time has come at last to storm the Tower of Babel. They just casually took out the Primal's heart? How the fuck did they manage that? Admiral Merlob and Lord Amaric await our arrival at its base. And then we should be about it, eh? I suppose this is as good an opportunity as any to keep my hammer from rusting over. Do you have Magitech Armor version 3? I will accompany you as well. As the forum's representative and a member of the survey team, I feel it my responsibility to see this through to the end. And yeah, since when the hell do you actually fight? We saw you fight once, and you didn't do a whole hell of a lot with it. I think he has the pew-pew lasers like Alpha Note does, but... Despite appearances, I'm no stranger to the battlefield. Indeed, I have seen my fair share, traveling the world in service to the Forum. Though I may not be the equal of Alphino or Alice, we shall not find ourselves wanting, I can promise you that much. It's okay, you can be the heal bot. Forget Kane Senna, she doesn't matter. She's going to talk to a tree instead. When you've all finished your preparations, we shall reconvene at the Insuladium. Oh no, not the Insuladium. That's where all the insults gather. Alright. Oh, that was way up there. It's okay, we're just going to boldly walk into Eldritch Tower. No big deal. It's not like Xenos is there anymore, because Xenos is dead. He's totally dead. Xenos is dead. Shut up, he's dead. I still can't believe they technically brought him back. Again. For the third time. Like, sure, it's probably just his little shadow ghost puppeting his corpse, but the fact remains that he exists in any fashion is stupid. Just stay dead properly, you son of a bitch. How could you? Oh, here we go. It's an actual instance. I mean, of course it is. It's a blasphemy, but still. Also, I always found the weird meat motorcycles to be one of the more interesting types of enemies. How do you, like... I get you're all big on super engineering and cool robots and shit, but... Who thought of this? Who was like, yes, This is our design decision. Yes, the committee approved this design specifically. Don't you just love it with its motorcycle hands and feet and its giant gaping... Is that... How many rows of teeth is that? Either way, that thing's horrifying by all comprehension. This isn't the first time these things showed up. These were back as early as Stormblood, I think. Yeah, it's the crazy asshole in Stormblood. And the Castrum at the 69 dungeon. All are present and accounted for. Shall we proceed? Progress will be saved at certain points, and events are defeated. You'll be able to try again from the most recent of these. Okay, this is going to be a long one then. Hopefully I don't get disconnected then, because I don't want to do all of this all over. And I guess I just won't do the event because this might take a full 30 minutes or more, and I do need to go to sleep properly because I keep forgetting to do that. Wait, is that his original armor? I could have sworn you had a different armor back when we did Omega, but okay. Our objective is simple. Locate and eliminate the blasphemy Nerva. Though the barrier guarding him is no more, a number of beasts will surely block the way at the auxiliary sector. Oh no, the sexual Cthulhu energy. It's already here, it's too late! Off to a smashing start, I see. It would seem the tower will reach its limits sooner than I anticipated. And we're to save the transporter, we must hurry and find Nerva. Now! I haven't heard this theme in a good while. To be fair, if we fuck up, we're all going to die from the explosion, probably. We don't have Heidelin to just be like, ah, it's okay, you get a do-over. Here's a shield. No. That shit's gone. It should go without saying, but stay on your guard. There was quite a menagerie of horrors when last I was here. Reach the top of the Tower of Babel. Again! That's a lot of dudes. It's a good thing I am also a lot of dudes in a trench coat. And also Catgirl. Don't worry about it. I can just use the power of not dying, and then forget where the hell I put that. There you are. Wow, how do buttons work again? It's been a while since I've had to actually fight anything for more than 2 seconds. What about that dungeon? No, shut the fuck up, I don't remember what you're talking about. Either way, Warrior's very silly, all the same. So is it even worth wasting on you? Not really. I'm gonna do it anyway. Or open I shall hold them off. Press on, my friends. What the hell does Kane Senna think she's gonna do by herself? I can understand Merrill maybe, but Kane Senna? She's just gonna stall them out with her magic and just be like, no big deal. Persistent lot, aren't they? I like how he's called Iron Narrow. Ah yes, it's clearly just Iron Man. Ba-da-da-da-da. Don't you know that Sid is Tony Stark in this universe? Get your head out of your ass, Narrow. You can't be Tony Stark. That's illegal. Wait, who's... Oh, you're alive. There we go. Okay, bye, Amaric. I shall hold the line here. When you see an opening, take it and do not look back. Nero is eating shit. Do we even have a... Oh, we have Fortune, no, but he's not doing a very good job of the healing. That's fine. I can do it myself. Wait, that's the boss theme. Why is the boss theme going off? I mean, not that I'm complaining. Oh no, the horsies are coming. Oh no, I can't actually... Oh shit! Fair enough. That one is not targetable. That's why. It looks targetable, but it sure isn't. There we go. It's okay. I can take them all. In a fight, right? in a fight, right? Just take all of the horsecock at once. Wow, did this just go completely out the fucking window, didn't it? Ah yes, say so, what's that? This is surprisingly easy for such a late quest. You have to do every other role quest to even get here. And yet, we're just kind of mowing through it. Oh no, can I do AoEs? Can I literally heal myself better than Fortuno can? Yes and yes to all of those. Probably out damaging the NPCs too, because they don't really usually do a whole hell of a lot. That is what I would call a heckin' problem. Okay, that did literally nothing. What was I worried about? They weren't kidding about there being a fuckload of these guys, though. Like, holy shit. Wait, that's the wrong button. How do buttons work? Just an orogeny. Start spamming these because why the hell not? Another one of these. I'm surprised they've not actually just nerfed Warrior into the ground. This is kind of nonsense. Should probably blow up at least one of these things, so we're gonna have a bit of a problem here. Okay, there's one. Probably get this one too. I may have the wrong idea here, though. Oh, Nero took care of most of it. That's okay, that's what AoE's for. I figure this is probably the best idea. And no problem. Now it's just you, big guy. No more distractions left. Just you and me, motherfucker. Although I imagine because it's this kind of self-destruct, this might actually just kill everybody instantly. Unfortunately, despite the fact that I can't die if I wanted to in most cases. Oh well. Better not be speeding up that self-destruct, though. I'll be a little displeased. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I know in the Amuro dungeon you can totally just tank that shit. But still. Is that the last of them? You actually thought that would be the case. That's adorable. Silly Robon. Of course not. We can't afford them to impede our advance any further. Commander Alden, let us hold them here. Okay, those two I can actually believe holding off this kind of shit. They're pretty tough. Master Fortuno, take the others and go. Quickly. Understood. Sometimes all you need is just two dads and a cat girl. And then you'll be A-okay. Oh, look at you. You look familiar. That's the final boss of Amuro. Leave. Leave now. Garlemald is mine. Mine! Okay, I like this. I like that they actually used this one of all enemies. Although it's much smaller than it was back then, to say the least. It's like a little itty-bitty miniature pet version of it. How cute. And there's no platforms for us to fall off of this time. The sincere Nova for Garlemald, and all who call this star home. Blasphemy or no, I'll not succor anyone who gets in my way. Look at you talking all tough. I think that's an AoE. Oh shit, it's more than just an AoE. The room is now a bit of a fucky-wucky. Oh? It's the same concept, but applied to a square. How curious. Also, this is a very laughable attack pattern. Who would you possibly hope to hit with that? Does Nero even need positioning? Isn't he technically a tank himself? Gravist Ergo. Oh, you son of a bitch. Exhausted Ego. Thanks, Nero. You're sure help. Wow, Fortuno, you actually did something useful. Good job. You learned the ancient secret technique of just using rescue all the time. You can use it for good or evil. But most people use it for evil. Just pull a motherfucker off a cliff. Get back here. I'm not done with you. Also, I'm in the middle of my burst phase. Don't you fucking dare. Okay. It's all good. This boy be melting, though. Oh, shit. That's okay. Oh, that's hitting quite a bit. I am a little blind. I was looking in the wrong direction and just kind of sat there and took it. But I have that privilege, because I am too powerful for this shit. Like, oh no, look at your adorable 0 damage. I feel like I've been spoiled too much by Warrior. There's nothing about this ego that's fractured. Okay. How the fuck's that gonna work? Oh, that's easy. That's laughably easy. Oh, that's bigger than I thought. Let me just inch closer to you, son of a bitch. There we go. What's ironic is I think that the new Cape Westwind is actually harder than this, from a mechanic standpoint. No joke. Oh no, you summoned a bunch of... What the fuck am I looking at there? Bring them here and leave the rest to me. Where the fuck is Nero? Okay, that's been taken care of. What do we do about this? Oh, come on. Sage doesn't have anything that good as a barrier. Or is that supposed to be his okay, it's his limit break. But that's not how healer limit break works! That's a tank limit break, you fool! This is such a weird concept. Just attack the barrier that's protecting you. This will somehow work. Don't worry about it. Is that what you say to your wife at night, eh, Portiono? It's fine. We live. Portiono's a little tuckered out, but that's okay. I'm used to ending things without a healer. The fact that you came back is kind of unnecessary, but it's welcome. Oh, he's spamming his AoE, like he's doing a little baby enrage. That's so cute. Look at him go. And then I just buff myself to high heaven because I can. Brother, I think you have not seen the shit that I have seen. Honestly, I feel like the other Blasphemies were ironically harder because they had a lot more cheesier mechanics to deal with. More class-specific stuff. Unless you're just running around being like, ah, test of your reflexes. You're a little too slow for that kind of thing. Nero is displeased. For glory, everlasting indeed. Is it over? Has the danger passed? By a hair's breadth, perhaps, but yes, I'd say we've managed to avoid a fiery ruin. We did it! Now the Undertale theme can play. Our path to the moon is open once more. The duty of Charlion has ever been to chart the course of history, not to change it. Thus did we fervently hold to our policies of neutrality and non-intervention. In truth, it was all in service to our plans of exodus, to abandon the star to its ruinous fate. Harsh though it may sound, I still believe it was ultimately for the greater good. Thanks to you and your comrades, however, it was a fate that did not come to pass. Charlion will now find a new way forward, not merely for the preservation of knowledge, but for the betterment of the star, and all who call it home. And forget Garlemald, those guys are losers. I believe I speak for all of the Forum when I say it would be an honor and a privilege to work towards such a goal alongside the Allied nations. Aye, an age of true and everlasting peace is finally within our grasp, and we will seize it together. Except for that part where this game's supposed to last for 10 more years, so it's not going to be that simple. Because how can you have a funny MMO without funny conflict? Just run around and use all your skills to hug the enemy with your axe. Just do it, though. There are no enemies, only friends. Tis a relief to know we've no longer a need for battle. Despite my experience, I must confess I am ill-suited to it. The Allied nation leaders, meanwhile, demonstrated an aptitude for combat far and above what I might expect from diplomatic figures. And you, my friend, I see now why you were so well regarded as Eorzea's champion. Yes, you honestly, I probably could have just face-tanked that laser too. Let's be honest here. You'd play the hell out of the game if it just becomes Shonen Adventure of the Week. I mean, that's basically what's going on. I doubt that... Unless they go like, oh yes, part 2! I kind of doubt it. And even if they did try to make a quote-unquote part 2, they'd only have so few expansions to do with it. So I kind of doubt they will ever actually get anything as, for one, Endwalker itself literally involves going to the end of the universe, so I don't see how you'd possibly top that on a scale. And two, they're probably going to make Final Fantasy XVII at some point and make a new MMO, so we'll see. The others have already begun the arduous journey home, but before you go, I would offer a word of thanks to the both of you. If not for your timely assistance, our plans would be forfeit, and the lands of Ilsabard forever defiled by the blasphemy. Please, I've no need for your platitudes. Actually, yeah, what the hell did Nero even do there? What did you accomplish? I guess he fought with us, but I don't even really notice... I guess he did that AoE that one time. Oh boy, so strong. I'll labor only to further my own ends, nothing more. We've heard the news. Thank you for everything. With Lord Nerva laid to rest, we've the peace of mind to move on without regret. And there's little Bunny. Benoy. There you are. Now what's this I've heard about you cleaning out the Tower of Babel? Are we finally ready to return to the moon? Little baby. Ah, what fortuitous timing. Allow me to introduce you to Livingway of the Luperites, moon dweller and overseer of the survey team. You see, you fucked up, Garlemald. Instead of rebuilding Garlemald and just going to the moon and living new Garlemald, instead you get to serve under bunny rabbits. Endure your shame. Livingway, these good people will be the moon's first residents. I trust you and the other Loperites will take good care of them. The bunnies are your rulers now. Enjoy your stay. Enjoy eating 100 different varieties of carrot. Pleased to meet you? Residents? Oh no. I mean, oh yes, splendid. After many, many long years of planning and preparation, the moon is absolutely, most definitely, ready to accommodate your stay. The Benui regime. As I was mentioning earlier, this has to be the most humiliating thing ever. You get to be ruled over by bunny rabbits. And not only can they do magic, they can do magic about as damn good as the Asians could, and just snap shit out of thin air, practically. Glad to hear it, and apologies for the delay. I must first confer with Lawrence to see our final preparations, but your residence-to-be and the survey team shall shall be a long ear long. What the hell kind of sentence is that? Calm your titties, Fortuno. Might I trouble you to relay word of our success to Shirbat and Razat Han? I should think the tidings all the more heartening coming from you, until next we meet. Now, if that's the last blasphemy, are we just done with the role quest now? So I kind of doubt we're going to get something like the crazy void shenanigans we had in Shadowbringers. Not that those actually accomplished anything, since it was promptly forgotten about, but still. Wait, you're not leaving the moon without me! The Narrow was never seen again. I like how they've just kind of decided, we're just going to use the Cthulhu Tower to go to the moon. No, we don't have a way of getting rid of this thing. How could you even hope to do that? We gave up. We're just going to let it sit here as a weird, terrifying monument to be found eons from now, and people will be like, the fuck was this? Some satanic ritual? I mean, it's not that far off the mark. I will admit, as good as Endwalker was, I am mildly disappointed that they didn't lean into the Eldritch stuff more. But they did a pretty good job with what they had at the end. Just have a little bird girl just ominously do grudge-like stuff at you and just teleport around, because fuck it, you have no power here. Sheer what? So it's true then, the blasphemy and Garlemald has been struck down. They were right to call on you, it seems. And with no other outstanding reports of blasphemy sightings, I dare say you've slain the last of them. Perhaps now we can finally start to put the final days behind us, strange though that may sound. On behalf of my fellow delegates and the Radiant Host, I extend to you our humblest thanks. I hope when next I call on you it'll be under more fortuitous circumstances. Yes, give me the critical materia that I will never actually bother to use. And that's it. We did it. Some of our parts. Do we get a funny title for that or anything? Blessed Relief. It's not a bad title. But I also worked my ass off to get the Patron of the Fates title, so I think I'm going to stick with it for a bit longer. Mind you, this thing also happened in Shadowbringers, so I got the Fate title for that, which I think was the Invisible Hand, and just kind of kept that for most of the expansion. But that's okay. Oh, it's a little hatching bunny. Did I even get one of those? I think I might have... I don't think I got it, actually. I think I just got the emote. Or wait, no, I think you get it automatically for doing the quest, don't you? Oh, right, there it is. A mammoth inspired by the peculiar ravage in Jilly Poe's vision. Initially missing a core, it sprung to life by the power of the crystal brought by an actual happy bunny. Will surely lead its owner to good fortune. Probably. So yeah, we did it. We managed to do pretty much everything we can do in the patch. Except for, of course, you know, Thornton Ultimate, but that's not happening ever. Just no way. I'm not paying for that, and I am too asked to be trying to do pub runs for Savage to even get there in the first place. So I guess we can call this one a little bit short. It'd be nice to get some proper sleep for once, instead of just staying up until like 1:30 in the morning. I have a bad habit of doing that. Anyways, with that all taken care of, I hope you all had a wonderful night and that you enjoyed the funny little Eldritch shenanigans in Final Fantasy XIV. It went in a direction I was not quite expecting, but it was also simultaneously tamer than I thought it would be, too. But hey, Garlemald's screwed, but they're going to the moon. It'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong with that plan? I hope they enjoy their new bunny overlords. Oh god, okay, went back to... Nope, bad. Anemone ways. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid while we're at it. Oh wow, Ham is still playing Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm surprised. Let's go say hi to Ham. Be edgy the hedgy. Raid message will be... Eldritch Power Raid, because we actually went back. Let's see. The rest of the week I've got Guilty Gear at 1 p.m. CST on Saturday, and Paper Mario as ever at 1 p.m. CST on Sunday. Otherwise, hope you all have a wonderful evening. See you around, W Sluggy. I don't even know. Go on, enjoy Edgy the Hedgy.